بمثابة زمزم عندهم. So just like Zamzam is holy and beloved, because they believe that the cow is Mata, which means a female god, mother god. So he was getting the farmers that were there, he was going there with the gallons and telling the farmers, white farmers, that I need cow urine, selling them to him. For them it was business. And then he's bringing them, and the water that he's splashing on your head is my, so he's splashing it on everybody's head. Tabaruk. Well, musta'an. Until they caught him, until the council caught him, 5 o'clock in the morning, he's running, 3-4 guys running to the farms every day, coming back with gallons. And all the water, that's all the Muslims are having their haircuts, very nice. Shave here, please. Here, please. Same about their sweets. When they make their sweets, Yorush, Tabaruk. Huh? No, just Tabaruk. Although we know that the bowl of the baqar is tahir, because we can eat it. Exactly. But this is a masala which is connected to i'tiqad. It's connected to belief. That's because of this is haram. Why this shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So next time when you go inside a sweet shop and you want to eat some jalebi or halwa, make sure you see who's serving you. Stick to the Muslim sweet guys. You don't know what's being put on there. So ala kulli hal, from this we understand the third principle becomes clear to us, that there is no difference between worshipping angels, pious people, prophets and stones, because they are all weak. They are all in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is from the violence of shirk that they are not united upon their worship. There is no centralized rule or clear foundation which unites his people. So all the mushriks are all in reality divided. They're all enemies and they all differ with one another. But they only unite against Ahlul Haqq because of their batil. It is only the following of their desire, their hawa, that they do this. While Tawheed, as we know, brings about unity amongst the Muslims, as mentioned in Surah Yusuf, ayah number 39 and ayah number 40. And the example for this is what Allah mentions in Surah Al-Zumar, ayah number 29. The believer is like a slave with one master, knowing his requests, objectives, and serving him accordingly. Whereas a mushrik is like a slave with many masters, each having their own requests and desires, wanting the slave for themselves. So the slave becomes distraught and confused as to who he must please. So sometimes he's running to this God, and sometimes he's running to this God. Sometimes he's running to this king, sometimes he's running to this pir, and sometimes he's running to this Baba, sometimes he's running to this Baba. Sometimes he's running to this Maulana, sometimes he's running to this Maulana. So there's a famous guy that comes here, he visits country as well, a Maulana. I'm not going to mention his name, but I will tell you what he does. So there is a friend of mine, for many years, I know him from Leicester. And I always meet him and talk about Tawheed. And all the time he thought that, why are the Salafis very harsh when it comes to Tawheed, until he experienced. So this Maulana, he comes and he gives talks, and he's like a celebrity, big following, wherever he goes. If there is an i'lam or an announcement today that he's coming to the masjid will be packed. So he had some problems, back problems. So he spoke to this Maulana, and he said to this Maulana that I am in need and need some help. So the Maulana said, come to India. He's from India. So he traveled to India. The Maulana said to him, when you come to India, Everything is a business. So the people that come to pick you up, the taxi is also mine. The hotel that you have to also stay is the one I tell you. It's all partnership. Percentage. So he went there. The first day he said to me, this is him now narrating to me. He said, when I went there first day in his office, the first thing I saw is there's a woman and him by himself, and they're chatting and this. So then he took me upstairs where he was on the balcony. He goes, when I went on the balcony, I saw fish, I saw eggs, painted eggs. All the things that you see in Sihr. He goes, I saw them there. He made me sleep on the bed. He said, first of all, go and sacrifice 2 sheep. And bring them to me. You must sacrifice them for what I am telling you. So this is what you see. You see that these people, they, in the name of Islam, they cheat and deceive the people. Until when he saw everything with his eyes, and he saw the shirk, that this man with a big beard is coming and he's sitting on the mimbar, and then he's writing all these tawizat, and in there he's writing ayats in the middle, and then he's saying, Ya Aba Jahl, Ya Aba Lahab, Ya Fir'aun, and all this besides. So in the middle is Quranic ayats, and on the sides, this isti'an and istighatha with the shayateen. See this, all the tawizes, we see this in the tawizes. People say, what's wrong with these ayats of the Quran? But those who cannot read the tawizes, they will see. So he came back, when I came back from Medina, and he was waiting. When I arrived back in Medina, or from Medina back to England, and I met him in Leicester, he came to see me. He took me to the side, and he hugged me and he cried. He said, for Wallahi, I have seen the reality of these people. I have seen the shirk. When I was there for 2 weeks in India, fishes, chickens, all the different types of magic that you can think of. Telling the people to believe in this and this, with no women, with no mahram, everything. He said, then I realized that this is batil. The haqq is only with the tawheed. And now I've come to tell you that Alhamdulillah, I am now on tawheed, and I have read Kitab al-Tawheed of Shaykh al-Islam Muhammad al-Wahhab rahimahullah ta'ala, and I have read Qawaid al-Arba. And for Wallahi, I did not find nothing but the truth from the beginning in the end, because I only saw Qala Allah wa Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's nothing else. For 4 years I gave this person down. How many years? 4 years I was patient with him. Every time he would bring it out. Every time. And then he went there, and when he saw with his own eyes, he saw the dangers of shirk, or what shirk does to the people. These people with their big beards and pretending to, like I said, praying in the masjid 5 times a day, and reciting Quranic ayats, and then in secrecy doing all this nonsense. Doesn't make you a nice person, and doesn't benefit you, because that is the other side of the reality of the people. So the indefinite saying of Allah in Allah's statement, worship Allah and do not associate anything in worship with Him, the indefinite is a proof that there is no distinction between anything that is worshipped besides Allah, because Allah used a word which is indefinite. And so everything that is worshipped other than Allah, whether it's worship of the heart, worship of the tongue, worship of the parts of the body, it's whether you believe in Allah, whether you don't believe in Allah, whether you believe in Allah and the Risalah Muhammad Rasulullah, if you shirk with Allah, the ruling is one. The levels, the adrak are different. The levels of deviation are different in that sense, but the hukm is one. As they are all shirk, everything has been classified to be shirk. Nothing but shirk. Nothing less than shirk al-akbar that expels you out of the fold of Islam. And Allah saying, fight them until there is no fitna. Shirk are both general statements with no distinction as to what was worshipped to commit the shirk. The Prophet ﷺ came to prevent shirk and all its avenues, all its different types of shirk. To see to it. So we find that we are prohibited to pray during sunrise, even if the prayer is sincerely for Allah. Sunrise and sunset we are prohibited from praying, except for Dawat al-Asbab. If anybody wants to make ibadah at that time, we have been prohibited. Why? Because those who worship the sun at that time, they worship the sun. Those who worship other than Allah, the sun. So that there is no resemblance between us and them at the time of the prayer. That's why the Ahlul Ilm said, if the prayer is sincerely for Allah, these were the times when some polytheists or mushriks worship the sun. So just because some mushriks in that particular time worship the moon, the sun, the shams, Prophet ﷺ said, there's no salah during that time. Stay away, do not pray. Had to close the doors of shirk in any form. No resemblance, even if you are worshipping who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So just imagine how much important that Tawheed is, and how dangerous shirk is. Anyone who is in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have the right to be worshipped or to be referred back to. And everybody in the grave is in need of Allah. You know, the great discussion that always happens is with regards to Sama' al-Mawta. They say the khilaf is qadim, or whether the dead can hear or not. You know, when the dead, they are dead, then you bury the dead. The ulama, they have kalam on this, that can the dead hear you when you go to the graveyard? When you say, Assalamu alayka, ya ahl al-qubur, yaghfir Allahu lana wa lakum, wa antum salafuna wa nahnu bil-athar. Yes, you go to the graveyard. Can the dead hear you or not? So my question is, that if the dead can hear you, if we agree that the dead can hear you, then there is only two possibilities. Either the dead can hear you because they need something from you, or the dead can hear you so that you can do something for them, benefit them. If the dead can hear you and they have been empowered and they can hear you and benefit you, then there is no real benefit of them dying. And if they are in need of you, then why do you refer back to them? Why do you turn back to them? If they are in need of you. If the dead are in need of you, then why do you turn to them? So this is with regards to the third qa'idah. We have understood what we have understood, that the khulasatul kalam with regards to the third qa'idah is that shirk in all its various forms is batil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has declared the mushriks to be kuffar and liars. If a person does shirk with Allah, whether he believes in Allah or whether he doesn't believe in Allah, the ruling is the same. If a person does shirk with Allah, even if he says La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, the ruling is the same. There is no difference. And we know that the mushriks are people who follow their desire. During his time, that all the mushriks that existed, who worshipped prophets, angels, pious people, rocks, stones, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the ayah indefinitely, he regarded them all to be general and gave them one ruling. And that the kuffar, the mushriks of the past, are better than the mushriks of today. This is what we understand from this principle. The last principle, bi'idhnillah, and this is the Shaykh who will elaborate on this. القاعدة الرابعة أن مشركي زماننا أغلظ شركا من الأولين، لأن الأولين يشركون في الرخاء ويخلصون في الشدة، ومشرك زماننا شركهم دائم في الرخاء والشدة. والدليل قوله تعالى: فإذا ركبوا في الفلك دعوا الله مخلصين له الدين فلما نجاهم إلى البر إذا هم يشركون. The Shaykh mentions this principle. He says that the mushrikeen of our time are worse in their shirk than the mushrikeen who came before. So this gives us one more reason. And I say this, that no masjid of Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah should be free from reading Kitab al-Tawheed in the masjid. That they must, even if it's seldom, just reading the text without any explanation. But Kitab al-Tawheed should be read every single week to the people. No masjid should stop reading Kitab al-Tawheed. 365 days. In fact, the khutbah, when they start their khutbah for Eid and Jummah, whatever topic that they want to discuss which is relevant to the people, the first thing they should address and address the people by glorifying Allah is to start with the Tawheed and warning against the people of Shirk. But in the Asaf al-Shadid, the Muslims of Ahlul Sunnah are free from Tawheed. Illa ma rahimahullah. And Allah says, وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ فَلَا تَدْعُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ إِنَّمَا يَعْمُرُ مَسَاجِدَ اللَّهِ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَأَقَامَ الصَّلَاةَ وَآتَى الزَّكَاةَ وَلَمْ يَخْشَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. This house has been built only to glorify Tawheed. Everything is discussed in many of the masajid except for Tawheed. Some masajid call themselves Masjid al-Tawheed and they never talk about Tawheed. Ask them. I know masajid who say that they are Masjid al-Tawheed, and the last time somebody talked about Tawheed, maybe 2-3 years ago. Everything else will be on Eid day. Politics is being discussed. The people who come to the masjid, maybe some people come once a year. They come only for the Eid prayers, some people. Stand on the member and call them to Tawheed. You're telling them on what's going on here in the world, what's going on here in the world, what's going on here in the world. Irrelevant to these people. Don't know about them. But there's no Tawheed. Like I said, some masajid call them the Masajid Tawheed. But I don't come in the masjid and talk about Tawheed. Because you split people. You split the people, you cause problems in our masjid. We don't want troublemakers here. This is the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Didn't they say the same about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? The person who was Amin and Sadiq for 40 years, that when he tested these people, the hikmah of his da'wah was such that he said to these people, when he gathered all of them, and he said to them, if I was to say to you that there was an army behind coming to invade you, what would you say about me? They said, we will bring our swords and fight. Get ready for battle. Because we have never ever experienced you to lie against us. To lie. And then he said one thing to them. He said, then stop worshipping these idols. And la ma'buda bihaqqin illa Allah. They said, khalasna. This becomes it. This, the most beloved man of Makkah, became the most hated man in Makkah. That the things that they said about him is that Muhammad is causing and splitting the families. The da'wah of Muhammad, which was the da'wah of Tawheed for 13 years, nothing but Tawheed, is splitting the father from the son, from the mother from the mother from the son, daughter from mother. Muhammad is splitting the da'wah. Muhammad is a troublemaker. Stop Muhammad from speaking. He's coming into our community, which is a relaxed community, a community which has everything. But tell Muhammad to stop speaking about Tawheed. This we can't take. So the mihna of the prophets and the messages and the people of Haqq continues to this day. For I have seen the Masjid who claim to be about Tawheed don't want you to talk about Tawheed. Oh, what is, before you go to talk to the Masjid, it's like going to see Theresa May in 10 Downing Street. Give us the minutes and we will give you the topic that you are going to discuss. SubhanAllah, you're going to give us the topic. We've been studying for so many years and you will tell us what we need to talk, what the people I need. You don't know how to make stinja? Huh? You don't know how to make stinja, but you are going to tell us what the people need. Oh, talk about and he's an expert on the fadail of Durud. So he phoned me. He said, they want me to talk about, he said, I only have come England to only talk about Tawheed. Now this is the topic, because they knew once he sits on the mimbar and puts himself into second gear, third gear, he doesn't leave anybody. No, they gave him the topic from before. So he goes to some of the masajid, what is the sheikh going to talk about? What is the speaker going to speak about? No names, no refutations. No, just talk about, nice talk, reminders, and go ma'assalam. Well, this is the situation that's become the reality of the people today. That which we have learned from our teachers. If you don't call us again, and if you stop your doors, you close our doors on us, then mu'aidana yawm al-qiyamah. We will meet you on the day of judgment, and we will not forgive you. Because you will be the cause, and the committees are the cause of the khair reaching the people. And I don't aim to speak about anybody in particular, I speak about the reality. Like I said, to go and speak to Theresa May, sometimes some of my students, they contact some of the masajid. It's easier to go and sit with Theresa May. The committee needs to sit next week. The person who is in charge is out on holiday. He's mobile. You want to come to your masjid and give one talk on Tawheed, and you're acting as if you want to come and collect 20,000 pounds from the masjid. Long process. Or now we have to ask this person, what is the topic that you are going to talk about? This. Talk about Tawheed. The da'wah is da'wah of Anbiya, alayhi salatu wasalam. The da'wah of the Quran and the Sunnah. What more do you want? Is the reality we are living. So we find that Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in Makkah, he was the most beloved. So you see that the niza' of haqq al-batil remains till the day of judgment. The watered down people, they are always fearing who? Fearing the people, not fearing Allah. We say that this is the mimbar of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That on this mimbar, when Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam would stand, he would talk nothing except about Tawheed. But whenever he talked about anything, he talked about Tawheed. And whenever he warned the people, he warned them against shirk. The last thing that he said in the lap of Aisha is he warned his ummah, لا تطروني كما أطرت النصارى عيسى ابن مريم. One of his final words on this earth in the lap of Aisha, Siddiqa bint Siddiq radiyallahu anhuma, the beloved wife and the chaste wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh my people, don't praise me and don't exalt me just like the Nasara did to Isa ibn Maryam. Because I fear. Allahumma la taj'al qabri ida wa wathana. Allah, do not make my grave a place of festivity and like an idol. SubhanAllah, these are words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His final words. So his da'wah started with Tawheed, and his final words on the face of this earth, on the lap of Aisha, what about Tawheed? And against shirk. And then you tell me that I shouldn't talk about Tawheed and shirk. And you restrict me. Will I listen to you or will I listen to my messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So the Shaykh, he mentions he mentions that why are the mushriks of the past better than the mushriks of today? So the mushriks of the past, they believed in Allah and they denied the Risala of Muhammad Rasulullah. The mushriks of today are of two types. Either they believe in Allah as well and they deny the Risala of Muhammad Rasulullah, or either those who claim that they believe in Allah and Allah's message. They say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. They also, those who do shirk, everybody that does shirk is a mushrik. We have no shyness of saying that. Anybody that asks from other than Allah, with only that which Allah is able to give and grant, he's a mushrik. No doubt about that, he's a mushrik. So the difference between them, the past and present, is two things. And the Shaykh mentioned two words. He said that this is because those who came before them committed their shirk during times of ease, raha and shiddah. So in the time of al-raha, ease and good, they would forget Allah. And they would do shirk with Allah. And in a time of shiddah, they would abandon their idols and they would come back to Allah. Whereas the mushriks of today, they do the opposite. Not only do they do shirk in a raha and shiddah, in ease and hardship, most of the time they don't even refer to Allah. Visited this person once, and he was trying to have a child for over 25 years. I wouldn't know what 25 years is, a long period of time. And then he went to India, Ajmer, a place called Ajmer in India. They call it Ajmer Sharif. They say about this place that the one who cannot go to do Hajj in Makkah could go to Ajmer 7 times and his Hajj will be done. They say 7 times. And there's the doors of Jannah. There are 4 doors, they call them the doors of Jannah. I entered. When I was there young, I went there. So my granddad told me when it's the doors of Jannah. So I put my foot and I didn't go forward. So my granddad said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I want to stay in Jannah. Because you enter and you exit. I don't want to, if I enter, I want to stay in Jannah. I don't want to come out of Jannah." I was only 9 years old. So we find out that this person, after 25 years, Allah granted him a child. And this is, I'm telling you, fi raha wa shiddah, giving you an example so you understand today. So I went to see him. So when I went to see him, I was talking to him, and I saw a big, like a photo frame of Ajmer. Ajmer is the leader of the Chishti Tariqa, Mu'addin al-Chishti, Khaja Mu'addin al-Chishti. One of the Sufi tariqas that is followed in India. It's supposed to be regarded to be the leader there. So I asked him, I said, "Why you put such a big photo? Usually people put photo of the Kaaba or this and that. You're venerating this." So I said, "What is this?" He said, "This is Aqa." Aqa means Sayyid. Yeah? Leader. This is used for the Prophet ﷺ. So this is Aqa. I said, "Which Aqa is this?" He said, "Gharib Nawaz." When he refused to take his name. The loyalty and the veneration to that level that he refused to say Mu'addin Chishti. He said, "No, Gharib Nawaz, we don't call him by his name." Allah. So I said, "Why you put this?" He said, "Because after 25 years, he gave me a son." He said, "For 25 years I prayed to Allah, Allah gave me nothing. And then I went to Gharib Nawaz, done khalas." So I said to him, "So what do you mean Allah gave?" He said, "For 25 years I used to pray, do everything, nothing happened." So then I said to him, "Do you pray?" He said, "No, I don't know Allah, I only know Gharib Nawaz. I don't know Allah, I only know Gharib Nawaz. Everything is for Gharib Nawaz." I said to him, "How can you say this, man? Allah is your creator." Allah has given him everything. For us, Gharib Nawaz is sufficient. In Rakha and Shidda, Gharib Nawaz. This is the hal of the mushriks of today. Then he took out some stones, all these stones that they have. And he said to me, I said, what is this? He said, these stones have been rubbed on the grave of Gharib Nawaz. If you take one of this, put them, they will protect you, and they will do this to you, and they will do that to you. So I said, Inna Allah ala kulli shaykh qadir. He said, no. Inna Allah ala kulli shaykh qadir. Gharib Nawaz. I said, Inna Allah ala kulli shaykh qadir. He said, Gharib Nawaz. And then he was sitting down, and when you sit there, you say, Ya Allah, Ya Gharib Nawaz. All forms of shirk I saw within 15-20 years. When I left his place, I said, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi wal khaba'ith. How the whole hal. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. The condition of the Muslims of today, the problems that we have today, wallahi ya ikhwan, I say this with amana and with sidq, wa inni ushhidullah, that the Muslim ummah is in its state because we have left venerating Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's tawheed and warning against shirk. Establish the tawheed of Allah in your masajid and in your homes. And ana ubashirukum that the nasr of Allah will come to you. Otherwise, no nasr is going to come. Our condition will only get worse, but it won't get better without the tawheed of Allah, without wanting the shirk of Allah. Establish the rights of Allah before you attempt to establish the rights of His slaves. You feel pain when you see the slaves of Allah, the Muslims, being suffered. But you don't see that pain when you see that people are doing shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where is your pain for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's rights being violated? Where is your ghira for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you see people committing shirk? Pain. Where is that gathering? Where do you see the Muslims gather and say, we have to stop this shirk that's going on? No, but they want to unite and they want to gather for everything. Conferences and everything for what? For the rights of the slaves of Allah. But what about the rights of Allah? If you have no adab in Allah, you cannot have adab with the slave. If you do not fulfill the rights of Allah, you cannot fulfill the rights of the slaves. Huququllah comes before huququl ibad. But where are the Muslims today? And by this, alhamdulillah, we say that the mushriks of today have also degraded lower than the mushriks of the past. لِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ وَاحِدٍ. But the waratha of the mushriks of the past are aswa and akhbath than the mushriks. Today, the mushriks of today are most aswa and akhbath than the mushriks of the past. Where is Tawheed? Where is our Tawheed? This fasting that we do, Allah says that this is for me only. That this fasting, I am the one who rewards this action, of the actions, from all the actions. This is pure Tawheed. That if there is no Tawheed, then there is no fasting, is not accepted by Allah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us success, and by this, alhamdulillah, ikhtisaran, bil-ikhtisar al-shadid, wa bil-ijaz, بفضل الله ورحمته, we have covered in the month of Ramadan a blessing and glad tidings to the people of this masjid, and glad tidings to the committee of this masjid, and glad tidings for all those who facilitated that shirk and tawheed be taught in this month of Ramadan. We'd like to thank the brothers and the sisters who attended, and we'd like to thank the brothers and sisters who assisted and facilitated for this to happen. For it is a great blessing that Al-Qawa'id Al-Arba has been completed in this masjid. وَإِنْ كَانَ مِنْ اخْتِصَارِ الشَّدِيدِ فَجَزَاكُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا وَآخِرُ دَعْوَانَا الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. How many questions? Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khairan, inshallah. We'll meet soon, بإذن الله.